and welcome to another video by Simple Life Tarot. My name is Sahil Sharma, bringing you the wisdom of tarot and making your life simpler. So if you are new to this channel, please don't forget to subscribe the channel and comment once you go through the video. It helps me resonate with your questions much more, and I'm happy to hear the questions that you want tarot and me to answer for you. So please feel free to comment. Straight to the question for today, for the tarot. I understand that a lot of us have challenging lives, challenging relationships as well. And this particular question has been asked to me many times, so I thought I'd make a video about it. The question that we will be addressing today, for all of you, if you resonate with it, great. You might want to hang on to this video and choose your piles as we go through. The question is, why do I keep getting into challenging relationships? Again, why do I keep getting into challenging relationships? So once I show you all the piles, I have 3 piles here with me today. You can meditate on that question, why do I keep getting into challenging relationships? This is like a pattern. A lot of people keep getting into certain patterns in their relationships. This is about a pattern too. And I'm pretty sure if you're watching this video, you're here and you have this challenging situation in your life, you might want to choose a pile for yourself and seek some answers. So I'm going to show you all the 3 piles. Pile number 1 is in the center. On the left is pile number 2. And on the right hand side is pile number 3. So choose and meditate with that question. And we'll start unpacking all the 3 piles one by one. Here you go. Here are your 3 piles. Pile number 1 is right in the middle with the clear quartz. Pile number 2 is with the orange citrine, and pile number 3, which is with the yellow calcite. So I'd like you to see which pile are you drawn to the most, and look at it and meditate on the question, why do I keep getting into challenging relationships? Your piles. So I will be starting off with pile number 1. So that's the pile with the clear quartz that I had, pile number 1 in the center. So let's unfold the cards. What I'm also going to do after I read these cards that I have, I also have my oracle cards, the Gita deck. And I'm going to be picking out one of the cards to support and see what is unfolded into each pile. All right, so let's start doing that. Okay, so pile number 1 is pretty interesting. First of all, the question is about relationships. The best part is right now the cards that have come out, 2 of them are cups, which are related to pretty much the emotions, which means your relationships as well. And also I have a major arcana card called Justice. So I'm just going to tell you all the 3 cards that I have. I have the major arcana, Justice. I have 3 of cups right here. Just want you to see them as much as possible. 3 of cups. I have 6 of cups. And then I have the Justice. So you can see the imagery on all 3 I'm going to be talking about as well. So what do I see here? So 3 of cups, first of all, let's go with 3 of cups, is pretty much a happy card. You see 3, you see 3 women right here, the 3 cups pouring into each other. They're happy. All the colors that I see of the different elements of the universe, there's a lot of happiness, emotional happiness. It's time for celebration. For some people, it could be time of marriage or engagement or some sort of manifestation of relationship that you have already begun, of course. You already begun. So that could be your current situation. That might be on your mind right now. At the same time, so I'll repeat the question. What was our question? Why do I keep getting into challenging relationships? So this card is showing that you probably are in a healthy relationship, which is moving forward currently for you. The second card, which is the 6 of Cups. The 6 of Cups looks very pretty card, looks like a pretty card, it's not a bad card at all. There are 2 children in the middle playing. There are 6 cups around them, lush green fields, clear skies. What it's denoting is It's a nostalgia card. It is taking you back into time. It also can signify that somebody from the past is coming back to you. It could be an old friend, it could be an old person you were in a relationship with, your ex, could be your girlfriend, could be anybody else. Somebody who's coming back into your life and kind of making you think and make you compare. Why do I say the word compare? Because it starts linking to the third card of justice. The justice, right? The justice right now in this context particularly tells me that you're trying to make some comparisons and justify what you have in your life today. Is it the same, good, bad, ugly? How does it really compare to the life that you had in the past, especially relating to your past relationships, right? It could be with this person, or it could just be a memory. So what I'm saying is, although you with your current relationship, right, or whatever relationship you usually are in, it always goes in a healthy way forward, but then something happens and you start thinking about the past and start comparing things from the past relationships, and there could be different triggers to it, because our human brain is such, we keep anchoring certain things, certain events, and make memories out of them, and we store them within our brain. So each time something similar happens, it triggers your memory, good or bad, whatever that is, and then it of course puts you back into that dilemma, whether you're doing things right, doing things wrong, will things repeat for you again in that particular context. And in this context, it's about your relationships. So you keep getting worried about it. What's going to happen? Is it going to be the same thing? So that sense of comparison, right, and trying to seek justice into your current relationships in comparison to the past keeps you on your toes. It's not a great thing to do. And till the time you will, and justice can also signify that you are actually overcoming, and this is the time for you to get the fruits of the results, which will be fair for you, right? Even if you've had past bad relationships, this could be the time to get fair relationships. But it totally depends on your mindset. Do you want to get stuck in the past and keep comparing your relationships because somebody from the past has come up, or like an old memory has come back to you, and you want to be stuck into it? Or do you want to move forward in all fairness to your current relationship with the person you are with, right? Make it fair for yourself and the other person and move on happily. So decision is yours. Remember, tarot can give you, any divinity tool can give you the current status, what's going on, maybe a glimpse into your future, but at the same time, it's all about your free will. Universe also gives you the power of free will. You have the capacity to make the shifts into your life. It depends, what are you willing to do? So that's pile number one. Why do you keep getting into challenging relationships? Because you keep getting stuck into the past, trying to compare things. Just summarizing that for you. All right, so let me pick up a card from the Gita deck as well to support this reading right now. So I'm going to shuffle the Gita card right now in front of you. Lovely, beautiful cards. So why do the people who chose deck number one or pile number one keep getting stuck into challenging relationships? Why do the people who chose pile number one keep getting stuck into bad or challenging relationships? All right, so let's see what card has come up for you. So this card is called the Master of Mystics. I'm just going to read the verse of Gita that's behind it, and we'll try and make some connections to it. Wherever there is Krishna, the master of all mystics, and Arjuna, the supreme archer, there will always be opulence, victory, extraordinary power, and morality. I hold this to be true. So for me, how does this translate into this current situation? Power of the Master of Mystics means, of course, you have to believe in the power of the universe, that every incident, every experience has its own secrets to it, which means we cannot see them, but there are events that happen for a reason for you. If there was a past that did not go well for you, it's okay. It was meant to be that way so that you could learn through those experiences and move forward in certain ways. So the learning here is not to get attached and not to hang on to those past memories or people that have already moved on, right? And maybe trying to make their way back. And it might not be healthy for your current situation, your current relationships. So trust the universal mysticism or the way life has been planned in a way for you by the universe. Trust it and move forward. Don't get stuck. Have faith. Have faith. You're going into the right direction. You're meeting the right people who need you into their life, into their lives, and you need them into your life, because both the parties need to learn something from each other. We have to fulfill each other's karmas in certain ways. So that's the card, the Gita deck, and the Master of Mystics for you. Trust the Master. Trust the Master. All right. So I'm going to put this back. Okay. So let me go to pile number 2. That's the yellow the orange citrine. Let's see, what do we have? What do we have here? All right, interesting. I have again, this is really interesting. Questions. Oh, wow. I have 2 cup cards again and 1 of pentacles. Good sign, people. At least we are on the track. It's all about relationships. Question again, what was the question? Why do I feel challenged in my relationships? Interesting cards here. So number 1, the first card that I received is the 4 of Cups. You see this person here, quite disinterested in life. And I also have the 5 of Cups. So first was 4 of Cups, then it's 5 of Cups. And then I also have the 8 of Pentacles. I have 8 of Pentacles. So let me go to the 4 of Cups. The 4 of Cups is a card where you see a man. He has 3 cups lying next to him, up straight, no problems, they're not fallen at all. There's some kind of evening skies, and there's been a cup that's coming from the skies, from the universe, trying to offer something, like offering an opportunity to the person, but the man just seems so disinterested. He's lost. The person is lost. He's into his own dreams. He is not interested into what he already has, what is being offered. He's kind of missing out on the opportunities, right? So life is offering him something, but the man is just not there with life. The flow, the connection, the momentum, everything is being lost in the situation. Card number 5, we see this person wearing an armor, right? And again, the skies are a little darkish, evening skies. 3 cups are fallen, 2 cups are behind the person, and the person seems tired. The person seems tired. It's done. He's done. It's mental exhaustion. It's emotional exhaustion. So much so that the cups have fallen, right? The person has given up, does not have the strength to take it anymore. It could be emotional conflicts with people in relationships of different kinds. At the same time, he does have 2 cups upright behind him, which he's unable to see because it's behind him. That means he still has that emotional support. He still has that emotional backup with him, or something still left into him on his emotional side, but he just fails to see it because he's so exhausted. And we just put it all together. So let me just put these 2 cards together for you. So these 2 cards are telling that, so question, I keep repeating the question so that you can stay connected. Why do I keep getting into challenging relationships? 1, you are not able to see the people, the right opportunities for relationships that come to you because you just are within yourself. You're just lost. You are not able to see mindfully what's available to you. You probably are seeking something else in life that could not be probably as real. A lot of people have this very Neptune-ish, I say Neptune because of the planet, the way it behaves, have this idealistic life, about romance, about life. Everything needs to be perfect. There'll be a Hollywood actress coming out for them in life. There's so much of, fantasizing in life in their minds. So they fail to look at the reality, what the real life looks like, and what opportunities keep coming and going, because they're just lost into their own world. Very Neptune kind of vibe to this card for me, right? So if you are failing to see what other people are doing for you, you're failing to see what the reality is. What do you have in your cadre of people and relationships? There could be some beautiful people around you. It could be your best friend. It could be your family. It could be anybody else, a romantic relationship, but you're just not able to see them. You just choose to ignore them, right? So that's one of the challenges, that you keep getting into challenging relationships because you are not putting in that hard work. Number two, even though you are losing out on the opportunities and do not see the things, what you have in your on your side, at the same time you're feeling exhausted. You're feeling exhausted because, see, two cards at the back, which I relate to card number 4. You had those cups with you. You had the assets, relationship assets, but you're not able to see them. And more so, you're exhausted because you're not able to get your fantasy into reality. So that is exhausting you so much. The rubber is not hitting the road for you. So you got to be cautious, because if you have too many fantasies, it's going to beat the reality of life. You're going to not be able to enjoy life as it comes to you. You'll be stuck into your fantasies. The third card, like I said, is 8 of Pentacles. 8 of Pentacles usually, it talks about hard work, right? It's hard work. It's more about learning, actually. It's about learning. You see, this man is actually working on one of the pentacles in the evening time. The candles are lit up, putting a lot of hard work in. It can suggest to you that you have to learn something new. Something new, it could be, in this particular context, it could be about yourself. It could be about those relationships. It could be about experimentation in life. Learn by doing things differently, right? It can also say you might have to join some classes. It could be counseling. Go to a counselor, get some learning, right? Unpack some things. It could be going to a psychotherapist, just talking things out. What is bothering you so much? Why do you keep getting into challenging relationships over and over again? Mention about what your typical behaviors are, right? You're unable to appreciate what is the current reality, but you're fantasizing things outside the reality. Talk to people, get some learning. If you want to have, hire a life coach for yourself, get some more learning. If you have to do a certain course for yourself, whatever that means for you to support your well-being, it could be that. But you have to do some formal learning for yourself so that you can get back on track. Get help of gurus, mentors, coaches, whomsoever you think, or your critical friends that is right for you. So do that. So that's your most of the predictions, your card reading. And let me pick out a card from the Gita Oracle deck as well. So, why do people choosing pile number 2 get into challenging relationships? People choosing pile number 2 get into challenging relationships. Why do people choosing deck number 2 get into challenging relationships? Keep getting into challenging relationships. All right, let's see what the card is for you. Interesting. Another beautiful card. I love the imagery of this card. So touching. So the card's called Covered Soul. It's called the Covered Soul. All right. So what does it mean? Let me read the verse for you from the back. As fire is covered by smoke, as mirror is covered by dust, or as the embryo is covered by the womb, similarly, the living being is covered by different layers of lust. Message is so damn clear. So damn clear. When I use the word lust, a lot of people straight away get into sexual lust. And I'm not talking about that only. That could be a part of it. So let me bring it all together for you, all these cards. So like I said, the situation here is, oops, I'm picking up the wrong pile. Like, oh, cards look different. All right, so the pattern here was that you keep missing out on opportunities, right? Very Neptunish, fantasizing about things. 2, you're exhausted because of that behavior, because you're not able to see the reality or your fantasy coming to reality, and you need to get into learning. Now, when I talk about lust here, as this card is saying, the covered soul, we are covered with so many layers of lust. It could be lust for life. It could be lust in this context for having an ideal partner for yourself. You know, a lot of people, men would, you keep thinking, if they have a liking for women, that is, you know, a beautiful woman, this kind of hair, this kind of eyes, you know, this kind of attire that they like to wear, height, this, that, profession, whatever that is. Some people, so this entire lust thing, right, can keep you caught into that imagination all the time, because you're going on thinking about your lustful fantasies. You want this out of your person, you want that out of your person, and you just cannot move forward because that's not your reality, people. That's not your reality. You got to keep moving forward. Appreciate the reality that is happening. There is much more than what you're simply fantasizing. I always say, look at yourself. What do you think other people might be thinking about you? Are you their fantasy? Are you their fantasy? If the answer is no, there is the slightest doubt, then let's get real. It's the same thing for other people too, and for yourself too. You cannot be fantasizing about people. People are people. Let's get real. We are people, we are real. We are human beings. We all have pros and cons. We are not perfect people, right? So keep that in mind. That's pile number 2, wrapping that up. Pile number 3. So pile number 3 was with the yellow citrine. All right, let's see, what do we have here? Okay, that's quite a variety of card. And the suits that I have a suit of cups, I have a card from wands, I have a card from swords, all different. So pile number 3, so let's see, what do we have? I'll begin with the Ace of Cups. I'll begin with the Ace of Cups. This is how it looks like right here, because it's about relationships. I think it's worth starting from the Ace of Cups. It's also called the card of Holy Grail. You see this huge cup in the middle, and there's an eye that's coming from the skies, the universe, and there are 3 rays coming down, kind of filling the card up, right? With this ray, there's a moon, which is an emotion in different phases of the moon. So aces are always about the beginnings, right? It's about beginning off, and also combining your mental, physical, and spiritual sides together and having a new start. It can also mean, for some people, beginning of new relationships. Sometimes it's about, because it's energy of 3, which means, because there are 3 rays coming into this visual, it can also mean that there is somebody, there could be an addition in the family, a third person, or 2 energies are giving birth to the third energy in there. So different meanings to this, but what it's telling you, that you do have the capacity to get into new relationships. Let's just keep it to that, because we are going to unfold different cards, right, and see how do they all come together. So you have the capacity to get into new relationships. Page of Wands. This young man you see, and one of the very nice cards too, positive cards here. Page of Wands. Wands is all about passion, very entrepreneurial person, has a lot of ideas. It's all about creativity. In the context of relationships, it also gives, I think I'll keep into focus the word passion here. So you have the capacity, so I'm combining these 2 cards, you have the capacity of starting new relationships with a lot of passion. You see, the man is facing right now this card, the cups. So you start everything with new passion, creativity, the energy is high, you're all excited about it, you're all gaga about your relationships. But then, what happens? The 3rd card, the King of Swords. Right? Everything is going great for you, and then comes the King of Swords. The king, and swords. Swords is all about your intellect. King, of course, you have a leadership power, which can also mean in this particular context, you have the tendency to dominate relationships, right? There could be a tendency to dominate. At the same time, swords is all about your intellect. And usually the professions, and when I say professions, because I just want to give you some context, this card is related to investigations. So there could be investigative mind that goes behind. So a lot of excitement first, and you keep getting suspicious about certain things is where I'm getting to. So you want to do some investigations. You probably are either you're questioning your partners or your other person's spouses, whosoever that person is, girlfriend, boyfriend. You are questioning their intentions or their behaviors. Then you get into this sudden investigative mode. You keep asking questions. You're not getting answers. Then there are chances that you're hiring people, to get into extremes, you're hiring people to spy on your partner to get some validation for your thoughts that you are thinking that may or may not be correct, right? So there's this ability, a natural inclination towards questioning and investigating everything. It could also mean that you question your partner a lot all the time. So first you're giving that hope and nice environment to your partner with getting all passionate and excitement, that you may get a little obsessive about certain things, and then you start questioning, investigating things, right? You want to dominate that relationship. You don't want to let that go. You don't want to keep that passion, or share that passion rather, right? So it can also lead to analysis paralysis. So you are stuck in every decision that you want to make with this person or in your relationships. Should you get engaged or not? Should you get married or not? Should you go for a dinner date or not? Should you go for a lunch date or not? Should you give your girlfriend or boyfriend a card or not on their birthdays or anniversaries or this and that? You are constantly making decisions that you're finding tough, right? Think about it. Is it worth it? Think about it. Is it worth it? You have all the passion, right? You have all the energy, positive energy to take things forward, right? But then that question comes. It could also mean that you are getting perturbed by the questioning by your partner because you are feeling dominant, and if you are asked questions, you don't like them, right? The moment you don't like the questions being asked, even if they are asked out of care, you don't like them. It makes you feel uncomfortable, right? That's a challenge. So what can you do for this? Of course, you have to understand if the person is asking questions and you don't like those questions, you have to understand people care about you in relationships, and they sometimes ask questions just out of curiosity or just to see if you need help, if you're doing okay. The flip side, the other side, if your challenge is that you keep investigating, then where's the trust? That is a challenging question I put back to you. Do you have the trust in your relationship? If you do not have trust in your relationship, I want you to think about that one more time, right? And are you unnecessarily putting people into hot waters? You know, why are you doing that? Is that necessary? Is it worth it? Is there a point? Why don't you focus on keeping your passion alive? So if you are really driving yourself into such situations, you got to work on that. That's your challenge. Too much of investigation, too much of analysis paralysis in relationships, and getting stuck into making simple decisions in life, in relationships. That's your challenge. Why do you get it? Could be just because of these behaviors. You got to come out of them, right? Let me pick out a card, oracle card for you. All right, pile number 3. Why do the people which shows pile number 3, get stuck into challenging relationships? Why do the people who chose pile number 3 keep getting into challenging relationships? Let's see what has come out for you. All right, another pretty card. So the card is called the Fall from Grace. Fall from Grace. You see Krishna? and Sudama, two best friends coming together here. What does it say at the back? Let me read out the verse for you. One who contemplates the sense objects. So I'm going to read that again because of the formation of the sentence here. One who contemplates the sense objects develops an attachment for them. So one who contemplates the sense objects. Oh, it's called sense objects. So like, what does it mean? Oh, okay. It's called a sense object. So let me read that one more time. One who contemplates the sense objects, which means sensory things, develops an attachment for them. From attachment develops lust. From lust, anger arises. What an apt card, right? From anger, confusion is born. Can't make decisions, people, because there's a lot of things going on underneath. Confusion results in the loss of memory. When memory is bewildered, intelligence is lost. And when intelligence is lost, once again, a person falls into material consciousness. So, very clear. I mean, the answer is right there for you. A lot of confusion. Now, what could be the bottom line? You're attaching to people. You're making analysis all the time because you're getting too attached. You're getting attached in a way. You're attached to yourself so much. You're attached to the person so much. You want to make right decisions. So you're over and over. You are in a loop going to that decision-making zone. Am I doing everything correct? Is this relationship right for me? You know, and you're questioning that, and going into analysis paralysis. You will definitely get into confusing state, and you lose your memory. And you lose intelligence and ultimately make bad decisions, right? And then you probably regret later on. That's the fall from grace. That is the fall from grace, right? So keep your intelligence alive. Don't get stuck into situations. Trust your relationships, if that's worth trusting, which you'll know much better. You're with the right person. The person really cares for you. The person does things for you unconditionally. Trust that. Do not question everything that comes to life, into your life. Things are there for a reason. All right, so those were the 3 piles. Hopefully you made some connections. If you did, please do not forget to make some comments in the video. You're watching it, I don't know, wherever, on Instagram or YouTube right now, of course, which you are. Follow, like, share this video if you have liked. Let other people also get some answers to these challenges. Remember, these patterns can be for many people, many people. And a lot of people can get some resolutions, some solutions for themselves. So do not forget to share this wisdom. I like to share this wisdom with you so that you can get help. Please keep it moving forward. All right, hopefully you have subscribed as well to the channel so that we can stay connected. If you have any particular questions that you'd like me to address through these tarot decks, tarot cards, I'd love to hear from you. Signing off for now. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.